Good evening, and welcome to the Business Computing Show. Our guest this evening is Pastor B.W. Burnett, and he is the owner of 5 Links Enterprises. Tonight we'll talk about voice-over IP technologies. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for the invitation to come, Nancy.
Well, tell me, just what is voice-over IP?
Okay, great. Voice-over IP is a system that allows you to make and receive phone calls over your high-speed internet.
Oh, over high-speed internet?
Yes.
So what is the quality of the service? You know, if I don't have a phone line, right?
Okay.
Because if it's on the internet, that means there's no real line. So when I'm talking on the phone, am I going to hear a lot of static, or is it hollow, or what does the phone call sound like? Well,
I'll tell you, Nancy, that will really depend upon the service provider, but normally when you're using the service, it's equal to, if not better than, the standard type phone service.
Oh, that's very interesting. So now you said it's over high-speed internet. So what is high-speed internet?
Okay, high-speed internet is the digital subscriber line, or the cable modem that runs on a speed of 256K or 768K.
So
kilobytes per second. Okay.
So it's not dial-up. Does it work with dial-up?
Our particular service does not work with dial-up. Dial-up has a slower speed, and so you have to have a high-speed or broadband service to use our service.
Okay, so what about the difference between DSL and cable? Is there any difference between DSL and cable that you know of?
Okay, there may be some slight difference, but I'm really not sure about that.
So how can I tell if I have high-speed internet or not?
Well, most people, if you do have dial-up, you hear the little dial-in tone through your phone when you try to use your service. There is no dial tone, you just use the service. Now, there is something that you do called a speedtest.net, and if you do speedtest.net, it'll basically tell you what your speed is that you're using.
Okay, so I have to have a certain speed in order to use this technology?
Definitely, yes.
So tell me about the device. How do I connect it to my computer? Because I guess I'm connecting it to my computer since I'm using my internet access, right?
Yes.
So how do I connect it to my computer?
If I might show you, I just happen to have here what we call a DTA, or a digital transfer adapter.
Okay.
And what it does is, in the back here, it has an Ethernet port,
okay,
and it has an internet port,
okay,
of course, with your power source. And if you happen to have your phone line, which it'll work on this service as well, you have a port for that as well. And you just connect those items there, and you're in business.
Okay.
Now, you can also use this traditional phone service over the high-speed internet, and the number that you have currently, that you've had for years, you can have it ported over to this device, and this actually becomes your telephone pole, if I could say that.
Oh, really? So that's like my telephone pole?
Yes.
Oh, and it's in my house?
It's in your home. Not only that, it's portable. You can take it basically anywhere with you that you travel, and you have access to broadband service.
So if I go to Timbuktu, and I stay in a hotel, and it has broadband service,
high-speed service, yes,
and I plug this in, and someone calls my home,
they will be calling your local number, and every call that you make will be as if it's a local call.
Well, that's fascinating. So what if I have, what about USB? Okay. If I have USB connected, if my internet is connected to my computer with USB.
Okay, if you have USB, definitely have to get what we call a router, and you would have to get that router and connect your USB to that router and then run it through to our device in order for it to work. Now, router is something that we use to direct traffic.
Okay. Okay, so it does just what it says. It routes
just what
the
it
traffic.
Says, right.
So now, what about if I have a firewall? You know, because, you know, it's kind of dangerous to be on the internet now, so a lot of people have firewalls.
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. Our devices or our equipment comes equipped to operate behind the firewall. So you just connect it and you're ready to work. It doesn't interfere with anything in your computer whatsoever.
Well, that's very interesting. But what is that thing?
This is what we call the video phone. And this is the premier of our product that we're very proud of. It gives you the ability to talk over the broadband internet and see face-to-face at the person that you're talking to.
Well, now that's interesting too. So now I can talk to somebody, let's say, well, suppose my family were in Beijing at the Olympics.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk with them, and I could talk to them and see them?
You can, if they have this same device,
okay,
and even if they didn't have it, if you called your family in Beijing, it would be a local call to China using our service, okay? And if they have the device, you can actually see them while they're there in Beijing.
Suppose they don't have this, but they have a webcam.
If they have a webcam, you could probably do an audio call with them because you would be dialing their number if they have a number on their webcam.
But the webcam won't interface along with this device so that I can see them?
Not currently.
Okay, well, that's still very interesting. Now, sometimes we talked a little bit about firewalls. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they say that you have to open certain ports to let certain traffic in and out.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, our products come already prepared to operate behind any existing firewall on equipment. With the exception of AOL, it doesn't operate very well with AOL.
Well, we'll just stay right away from that, okay?
Okay.
Because some people have their own personal opinions about AOL,
yes,
and so we won't touch that.
All right.
But now, what about satellite? Because some people, when they live way out in the boonies and they're not able to get this great Comcast service,
right,
and they choose they can't get DSL because
mm-hmm,
they don't have any stations nearby.
Right.
So they have satellite internet. Does
yes,
this service work on satellite?
Unfortunately, Nancy, it will not work with satellite. Satellite has a download that's too slow for our equipment.
What about Wi-Fi? What is Wi-Fi? What does that stand for anyway?
Well, it's just basically wireless.
Okay.
Wi-Fi is the thing of the future, we believe. And even as we speak, I understand that Wi-Fi towers are being constructed all over the U.S. And right now there's a telephone out that operates utilizing the Wi-Fi, which is one of our products as well.
Well, that's very interesting. So now you're talking about our products, and so what business is this that you have? Is it different from, because there's several voice over IP companies, what distinguishes this one from any of the others?
Well, I believe the distinguishing factor that we have is that we're allowing people to use our service to virtually talk over the internet. It doesn't have that delayed time that we find in some products that are out there, but just as you and I are talking right now, it will have the same interface. We can actually see each other over this, and just as my lips are moving right now and you hear my words, it'll be the same.
Okay, so
without any delay whatsoever.
So we don't have the Bruce Lee kind of thing where
no, we don't.
The sound stops and the lips keep moving for 2 minutes afterwards. Now, why did you choose an internet-based business as opposed to what we call brick-and-mortar business?
Okay. For me, I chose it because I was really looking for something that would give me freedom. I was looking for something that I can be in charge of my time, mm-hmm, and of course have more time with my family. And 5 Links was the avenue that provided it for me.
So you think an internet-based business gives you more discretionary time?
I believe it does, especially with the company that I'm currently with, mm-hmm, in that it was something that was easy to do. Mm-hmm. It was something that do, and it was simple.
Well, it sounds like you know a lot about technology.
Well,
are you an information technology professional?
I kind of wish I was, but unfortunately I'm not. In this particular business, you don't have to know anything whatsoever about electronics, technology, the broadband speeds, or WANs or LANs or anything. You don't need to know anything. It's just simple and that easy. It also gave me the advantage that I could decide when and where I wanted to work, that I was in control of my time and how much income I wanted to earn. It was a step-by-step system of success, and it was just something I could do not by myself but with a team.
So entrepreneurship is, in your opinion, the way to go? It
is the way to go. It was a thinking shift for me, because I've been accustomed working all my life for someone else, and now I'm learning how to boss and CEO of my own company.
And you're liking that, are you?
I'm loving it.
So what are some of the disadvantages to having an internet-based business?
I think one of the disadvantages, and I think that's with any business, it's a risk, is that if there's a power outage or failure, of course, your business is down. Another disadvantage, I think we have to shift our thinking to understand that it's about numbers. And so you have to meet people all the time to give them information. And the other disadvantage is, just like it can succeed, it can also fail.
Okay, because you mentioned having to meet people all the time, because if you have what we call a brick and mortar business or a freestanding business, then people can pass by, you get foot traffic. So with an internet-based business, you don't really get that foot traffic.
Exactly.
So how do you drive people to your business?
Well, most times, Nancy, I'm dealing with friends that I've known for years, and we've built a relationship. Also, family members. And just by word of mouth, just getting them to try the product and services that we offer, and just by word of mouth, word gets around. Another thing that really drove me to this was that there wasn't a large inventory that I had to manage. There were no overhead expenses that I had, and so it was the simple thing for me to do.
Well, now, one thing you mentioned as a disadvantage is if the internet goes down, then you can't do business. So if I have this service, what happens if my internet goes down?
Well, if you have the service and your internet goes down, your messages, of course, still are routed in, but we have what we call a search me, find me, that you identify another number that any calls that are coming in, it will continue to hunt until it finds you at that number.
So basically, if I have this service and say I have a cell phone, then I could use my cell phone as the alternate number? Is that what you're saying?
You most certainly could, yes.
Okay. What about alarms? Don't alarms need analog lines?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And our product does work with a wireless alarm system, but most companies haven't positioned themselves for that yet. And ours will work as with the analog phone line for alarm service as well as wireless.
It works with analog and wireless?
Yes, it does.
That's very interesting. Now, and I don't know, because we may be moving a little bit out of your arena, but you said most companies haven't positioned themselves yet to have that wireless alarm system. Do you see that coming down the pike? Do you have any idea when that's going to happen?
I don't have an idea, but it's estimated in another 2 to 3 years, we're going to see a big shift in a lot of things moving towards digital. Just for instance, the example would be next year in February of 2009 that the television sets are moving from analog to digital.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, this is a very, very interesting conversation, so we're going to continue it right after we have these messages.
All right.
AT&T phone customers, you may be able to pay less with Comcast and get a lot more. Compare your current home phone service to Comcast Digital Voice, now at a price you won't want to miss, as low as $19.99 a month for 12 months. Switch today and get unlimited local and long distance in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. 12 popular calling features, plus voicemail. Save even more when you add digital cable or high-speed internet. Save big on your phone bill here. Hurry, call 259-1405.
How's it going, Frank?
How's it going, Frank?
Everything's good, everything's groovy, it's a great day.
Poor communication causing frustration? Switch to Comcast Business Class Internet. Now offering Microsoft Outlook and SharePoint for synchronized email, calendars, and tasks, so you can work together as a team.
Hey, football fans, get more of the action you love with the NFL Network, part of the Comcast Sports Entertainment Package. We're talking more sports for every fan, including NFL Network, NBA TV, Tennis Channel, and 3 college sports channels. Hundreds and hundreds of games if you want more of the action. All of this plus NFL Network on demand. Call to learn how you can get the Comcast Sports Entertainment Package. For pro football, pro basketball, and college, we've got you covered. Call 1-800-COMCAST now.
Hey, satellite customers, you may be able to pay less with Comcast and get a lot more. Add up your current satellite TV, internet, and phone bills. Then compare that to the Comcast Economy Triple Play. Now only $79.99 per month for 12 months. Get Comcast digital cable with Channel 1 on demand, Comcast Economy internet with free McAfee security, and Comcast home phone service with unlimited local calling. All at one of our best prices. Hurry, call 259-1405.
Okay.
Thank you and welcome back. I'm so happy to be interviewed. This is so interesting about this voice over IP. I think they call it VOIP, do they?
They call it VOIP.
You know, VOIP is technology. We like those acronyms, don't we?
Yes.
So now let's talk a little bit more about VOIP. We talked about, you said something about a DTA or an ATA. We're talking about these acronyms. So what do those acronyms stand for?
Well, the DTA is for Digital Transfer Adapter, and the ATA is just an analog transfer adapter.
And what's the difference?
Well, typically, the difference is like now, if I can say, with our televisions. Most of our television used the old analog system. And we're going to be shifting to the digital system, which has a better picture quality and so forth. So if I were to try to give a simple definition of it, I would say the DTA would probably have a better quality to it than the ATA.
Okay, so I guess that answers my next question, because I was going to ask, why is it important? And
the quality is always important.
I guess it's important because you get better quality.
Better quality, yes.
So now, how does, if you're on this big internet, right? Mm-hmm. And you've got this traffic going everywhere, and I've got a phone and you've got one, and you know, let's say 1 million people have this little. Mm-hmm. How does it know how to come to my house? Okay. When someone calls me, how does it know where to go?
Well, everyone is assigned a specific IP address to identify that computer that's using the service at that time.
Okay. And how does it, I mean, how does the IP address get assigned?
I'm not sure how it's assigned, but I know that there's a set of numbers that you have that identifies that this is your address.
Oh, okay. All right, so that's interesting too. Now I have another acronym here that you passed along to me, and SIP.
Yes.
What's an SIP phone?
SIP is
sounds like it making me thirsty. You know.
Okay.
I want to sip.
The acronyms for SIP is Session Initiation Protocol. And it's a telephone that has an ATA built into it, so it natively receives VoIP. And so the GlobalLink SIP phone is a 2-line or a 4-line office-type phone with multiple soft buttons that can be configured to transfer the calls and access voicemail and do speed dials and etc.
So I can use this for my business as well, you're saying?
Yes, you can.
And you say, because you know a lot of businesses, they have all these different lines. So up to how many lines can it handle?
Well, we have a commercial department. This is for residential, this particular device I showed you. But the commercial department has a much larger unit similar to this that can do as many lines as necessary for the company.
Okay, so that, if we have a business aspect to it, and you have the video component, and you're on the internet, does the business have the option to maybe do web conferencing using this technology?
That's something that's coming in the near future. It does the ability right now to do multi conferencing at one time, but they're working on it even as we speak.
Okay, and you talked about soft buttons and there's something called a soft phone. So what's that?
Soft phone is a software application that runs on your computer, allowing your computer to work as a telephone.
So what you're telling me is that I can talk on the telephone without having a telephone?
Yes. You know, like the little webcams that we get sometimes, that's what VoIP is all about. It transfers your voice into a signal over the telephone that allows the hearer to actually hear it.
So if I'm not using a telephone, what am I using?
Well, you're still using voice over internet protocol, which, again, it transfers that signal into your voice on the other end of the hearer.
Okay, but what am I talking into, you know, in terms of, because you have to hear through something and speak into something, right?
Either a microphone and some earphones.
Oh, okay, okay. So like the same earphones that I'm using to maybe listen to my music or whatever.
Yes.
And then just a regular microphone that hooks to the computer.
Microphone, or you can have a webcam on your computer and just talk to someone over there. And there are some services out there that do that.
Okay, so now when I have a soft phone, if I have a soft phone and I'm listening to music and my phone rings, what happens? Because now I need my headphones for my phone.
Well, you would probably hear a beep, or there would be some interruption to let you know that there's a phone call coming in, and I think there are some programs that also let you know that you have a phone call coming in.
Okay. Now, what are the basic requirements of VoIP? What is the minimum that I have to have on my computer in order to use this technology?
Okay. To use this technology, I believe your computer speed has to be at least 100 kilobytes per second or above is the minimum requirement to use in VoIP.
Okay. Does it use up any hard drive space?
None whatsoever. I'm sure that draws on your speed a little bit, but you don't have to have any certain software or anything like that. It comes fully operational, ready to run, as long as you can connect it to your broadband DSL.
Okay, but I might want to put a little more memory in my computer just to add a little resources so I can keep my speed up.
Well, it operates simply by using your broadband. It has nothing to do with your computer. You don't even need a computer to operate this particular piece of equipment.
Oh, I don't?
No, you don't.
So how would I operate it without a computer?
Well, first of all, doing what I do, you want to have a computer since I'm in business. Okay, but the product itself operates simply by using the broadband internet.
Okay, so now
and a power source.
Okay, yeah. So I have to make sure my electricity is out.
Yes.
Now, can I call anybody, or do they have to have one too?
No, you can call anyone. They don't need to have the same device. Now, what the beauty of this is that from device to device, there's no additional charges or anything like that, you know. But it's it's unlimited calling. I mean, you just call. You call to a foreign country, China, Spain, Italy, Canada. You know, you just call. It's like a local call.
Okay. Now, I understand that these devices that you have, these particular devices, come from Global Links.
Yes.
How did Global Links come about? Because that is your thing that you're doing. How did it come about? What prompted them to do this? Well,
in 2001, we had 3 gentlemen that actually founded the company. And they had an idea to take this VoIP and come up with a device that would actually allow us to see the person that we're talking on the other end face to face while we're talking to them. And I just believe that it's going to be so uncommon in the near future to make a phone call and not see the person that you're actually talking to.
Yeah, we're in the Star Trek generation
yes,
now.
We are.
Yeah, we're doing it in real time. And I understand that you've gotten some awards and some honors. What are some of those awards and honors?
Well,
for this technology, you know, it's cutting edge.
It is cutting edge, and some of the awards that we received were that we were featured in the July issue of Success from Home magazine.
Okay.
We've been featured in Your Home magazine, and we've made Inc. 500's magazine for the 3rd year in a row, the year 2006, 2007, and 2008. Okay,
that's something then. So this technology is really taking off.
Yes, it is. It's something that our generation of children and our grandchildren are going to be using. You know, when I was growing up, we saw the Jetsons. You know, George was talking to Jane, his wife.
Right.
You know,
yeah, they did have those video
they had
phones,
the video phones then.
Ooh,
Yeah.
We're dating ourselves. People are going to think we're old.
Yes.
Yes, and so pretty soon we'll be flying around the air on little things, huh?
Well, they've been working on that for years too. You know,
So it is really fascinating how what used to be science fiction has really become science fact.
Yes.
And how do you feel about being involved, you know, right on the cusp of all of this cutting edge technology?
Well, when I was growing up, my dad had one of those old box phones. You know, it looked like a big box that he carried around. You know, and had I known then about what was happening, I probably would have been in front of that and been more involved in that evolving technology. And I wasn't. And it evolved from that to we carry them on our hips and in our pockets now. So when I heard about this opportunity, I said I wanted to be part of it. I didn't want to be left out of it, and I took advantage of it.
Well, now look how far we have come from party lines to video phones. That is really, really, absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And you say that you do this, and you don't have to have a store. You don't have to, you know, you can do your business in the middle of the night. Entrepreneurship is really, it really seems that that's the way to go.
Well, I think it is going to be the way to go for our generation of the future. What I'm looking at is that I've always wanted to walk to work, and now I can get up from my bedroom and go right to my computer, to my virtual office, and I'm at work.
Well, that is fantastic. I am so happy to learn about this technology, and I'm happy as well to have had you as a guest on my television show. I really did learn a lot. I thought I knew a little bit about voice over IP, but I certainly did not know that I didn't have to have a computer in order to use it. So I thank you for being on the show, and good luck to you in this venture.
Well, thank you very much. I'm still learning about it also.
Okay. And I'm Nancy Ford, president of Memphis chapter of BDPA. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time.
What do you get when you sign up for Comcast Digital Voice? Unlimited local and long distance, and a whole lot more. Enjoy 12 popular calling features, plus voicemail, all at no extra charge. Even keep your current phone number. Plus, add Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost and save even more. Call now and add both services for just $49.90 per month for 6 months with your Comcast digital cable service. Call 1-800-COMCAST today.
Some high-speed internet services say they're fast, but only one really backs it up. Comcast high-speed internet. It's way faster than DSL. And Comcast now with Power Boost makes fast even faster with download speeds of up to 12 megs. And for a limited time, you can get it for just $19.95 a month for 6 months. This deal is going fast, so call 259-14 and get Comcast high-speed internet for as low as $19.95 a month for 6 months.